treats tucked away for the little ones in her family. At my birth, for instance, she planted a mango tree, and whose fruit was enjoyed by all for many years. Her all-embracing love for family led her to travel from an early age, first aboard a steamer to St. Lucia, where her mother and husband resided, having immigrated there to work, and had produced several other brothers and sisters. These are Esma, who has predeceased her, Keitha, Jean, Keith, Ken, Camille, Sean, and Lancy. Also in St. Lucia was an uncle who had a large family, Uncle Horace. For her, this was an entire community of kin, and she was the glue that kept us all together. In 1966, she joined her sister cousin Clarissa Boyne here in Canada and began a new life. 2 years later, she entered the Canadian Postal Service and there found her calling until her retirement in 2002. There, because of her warm personality, she made many lifelong friendships among her co-workers, some of whom are here today to pay their last respects. She had quite a head for business and was completely fearless in enterprise. After the birth of her dearest daughter, Michelle, she was formally inducted into the East Toronto Seventh Adventist Church following her baptism in 1972. A later marriage produced a beloved son, Kemuel. These two can attest to their mother's loving warmth and tender care. Indeed, she spared no effort in seeking to provide the best for them and to produce the best in them through Christian education. As Beatrice would say, she loved them to her eyes. Her children were the third arm of her burgeoning family, which she bonded with the other two in Barbados and in St. Lucia. Certainly, Violet was the most successful cosmopolitan I knew. There's much that the United Nations could learn from the way she harmonized all the facets of family life and friendships into one seamless whole. Meanwhile, as she moved through life, she moved from East Toronto Seventh Adventist Church, the Agincourt Church, the Agape Church, and finally this church, the Kendallwood Church. Her forte was teaching the kindergarten primary age group and singing to the glory of God. In 1987, when I first visited Canada, I realized that Violet truly loved her Volvo and took the meaning of the name seriously. I roll. It was while driving with her to Lake Huron that I realized that none was allowed to pass it on the road, not even a younger model. After retiring, she spent several years in the US, specifically in Georgia, where she helped raise her granddaughter Melina, her pride and joy. The milder weather there allowed her to cultivate her flowers and vegetable gardens for 3 seasons of the year. She took great pride in sharing the fruits of her labor. It is said that some people have a green thumb, but she had a green hand. She was a dedicated grandmother and spent 7 years in Georgia before returning to her much-loved country of Canada in 2009. In the past 3 years, we've lost several family members, and Violet has been there for all of us, whether in Barbados or St. Lucia, bringing consolation to us younger ones. She has never been one to complain for any reason, even when she knew death was a certainty. She met the enemy with the same quiet dignity that marked her life. It is most difficult for her children, extended family, friends, and acquaintances to come to terms with the fact that we shall no longer hear her soft, drawling voice and her rich laughter, see her quirky one-sided smile, or experience her warm hug. Her vivacity is no more. All of us rally to her with constant calls and prayers for her recovery. Her brother Keith and niece Chiquita arrived on time to strengthen and encourage her. Her cousins Hermine and I did not even get to tell her goodbye. But because we know that she died in the Lord, loving family and friends, and serving her fellow man. She will live on in our hearts and memories. I can imagine Jesus saying to her on that great getting up morning, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter God into the joy of the Lord.
Now let us turn to the hymnal as we all will sing together 449. 449.